Hey everyone, Sharon here, ready to give you some brand new updates to Teacher Time Machine we're really excited about. So let's dive in. Okay, so I'm going to head into the dashboard and then I'm going to go to the Creation Zone and I'm going to head into that test designer. It is the season for testing and assessment and all those things. So let's take a look at some of the updates to our test designer. First of all, if you've got a profile set up, that will bring in all of your curriculum, right? So if I chose grade 6 math, it's going to bring in my grade 6 math curriculum. So actually, let's just do that. I'm going to just choose grade 6 math, and there I have it right there. If I was in a Catholic school and I wanted to have a faith-permeated lens for these questions, then I would choose the worldview. For now, I'm just going to skip that part. Now, we're going to build our test in sections, right, according to the things. But we have a brand new feature here. I wanted you to notice this. If you attach a reference file, then you can tell it how you want it to be used. You can say, okay, this is global though. This is going to be across your entire test. It's going to reference this thing. It's going to build a test on that document. Okay, so you can take a variety of things like images, PDFs, slides, spreadsheets, text files. It'll take any kind of file. That's amazing. But you have to know that that's going to be used as the reference for all of this part of the test. Okay, so now I am ready to go in and add my first set of questions. I didn't upload something, but wanted you to know that you could. And so now I'm going to investigate numbers here. Let's do prime factorization right there. I'm going to choose that one. And then now I have my specific outcomes. Again, so beautiful to have these right at your fingertips. And I want a composite number. Let's do that. I'm going to choose a few of them here. Okay. And there we go. Okay, now if I wanted to choose my competencies that apply to this, probably this will work. So I'm invalidating the process, respect, I think more this one. Okay, so now here I can add my additional instructions here if I want to. So if I want to hone in on a certain thing, I can do that. If I want to refer to a certain resource that I have, I could do that reference here. As long as it's readily available on the internet, it's going to probably be able to find it and source it. But here I could also take a picture of a graph or a something that I want to use as the reference for just this set. Now remember, the other document that we uploaded would have been applied across all of my sections of my test. But here I could take a picture and just add it for this set of questions. So maybe I'm just going to do 5 questions in this set and I'm going to upload a picture. Now I can do it from my assets that I've already saved. So I have lots of photos and generations that I've done inside Teacher Time Machine. I can add those, or I can upload it from my computer. So lots of nice options there. Okay, now I'm going to blueprint. I want one, depth of knowledge, 1, surface level in terms of, not difficulty, but in terms of the cognitive load that it takes to answer that question. I want 2 of those. I'm going to add that to my blueprint. I want depth of knowledge, 2 questions, a little bit more cognitive load just taken, and I want 2 of those. Okay, and finally, now I'm going to get into my analysis and evaluative questions and so on. So I want 2 of those. Okay, those are all multiple choice, but that's not our only choice here. We can do short answer. I can say, okay, depth of knowledge 2, I want 2 of those. Now, we can just provide ourselves with a really nice balance of our questions here. See how it's nicely blueprinting these for us? This is amazing to be able to do this in just a few minutes. You're aligning it to your outcomes, all the outcomes you chose up here, and your depth of knowledge questions. Okay, now look at all your options here. You've got all kinds of options there. So, play with that. Okay, I'm just going to save what I've got here so far. And my first set of questions is finished. It's complete. And so now, and I could go back in. I can edit that at any time, or I can get rid of that set entirely. Okay, now I'm going to add a question set here. I can choose the same set, or I can choose an entirely different general learning outcome for the next set of questions. I'm not going to do that right now because we want to move on, but I want you to realize how you can build out, a semester final, or a test that spans several or draws from several units, right? So you've got those full capability. Okay, now I'm going to generate those questions. Okay, so here we've got our questions. It does take a little bit longer, but I can say that the quality of the questions, we've got a brand new engine behind TTM now. The quality of the questions is just raised so much. So we're very happy with that. Here I'm going to name my test and just call it prime factors. Okay, or factorization, whatever you'd want to call it. Okay, and now we've got here our test expression. You're going to check each one of these. Okay, do a better job than I am. I'm just going to flip through and approve each one, but you make sure that you check that they actually are correct, because, AI can be wrong still. It can be wrong. It's better and better, but it can be wrong sometimes. Now here, I'm going to create a rubric, and I want how many categories of my curriculum. And then here, this is brand new to you. So we've got the ability now to tell me, do you want no lines after this? Do you want a blank space so that they can work things out in it? Or do you want it to be double spaced? Or do you want it to be single spaced? Interlined would be more for primary. So probably not that at this level, but you might want single spaced or double spaced. Okay, so grade 6, I'm thinking, well, I was still going to double space it to give them lots of room. Yeah, I'll do that just to show you what they look like. We probably would have that be empty, but I want to show you. Okay, now this time I'm going to do a 4-point rubric just to show you again, and we'll do 2 categories of the curriculum, and then let's do no lines this time just so you see the blank space. Okay, now I can add questions, which means I'm going to generate new questions. So if I didn't choose all the questions here, I could say, but I still wanted 10 questions, or I still wanted 20 questions. I could go and generate more questions, or I can load questions from my assets. So if I've saved questions here, then I can actually go in and if I've got the right kinds of questions in there, I can load from there. Okay, so it's nice to be able to save your questions. Now let's talk about that just for a moment. I can go back and I can save these questions. So if I save them, that's now going into my assets. It's going into, like, I'm essentially building a test bank of really good questions that I want to save and I want to bring into other tests, and I can do that. All right, so let's keep that in mind as we go. So I'm going to approve all these and I'm going to generate the test. Okay, now everything's done. See, you get all these pieces, right? You get the questions, you get the blueprint, you get the outcome analysis. Let's go see what they look like. So I'm going to go to my work, and so now I come back into my work. It takes me into there automatically, and this is the last thing that I've done. It's always at the top. And I've got all of these things here, and I can preview each thing right here by clicking on this little eyeball. So let's start with our test. Okay, there it is, nicely formatted. You see that again, it's we do lots of things at Teacher Time Machine that are best practice, but nobody really notices, right? But you get a really nicely formatted test that reduces eye fatigue. It just is built on the best practices of test design. And that's just nice for you to be able to trust, right? So there we have your test questions. Here's an example of the double spaced lines. And then here's the example of it's going to be blank after, which is exactly what we chose. Then I have our answer sheet and our answer key, and they're nicely randomized too. Okay. Now, I can always, with these, I can download it and print it, I can share it, and we're really encouraging you, if this is a really great test and other teachers would benefit from having access to this, then please share it to the library. And you can also upload it to your Google Drive, right? So just with one thing there. And okay, let's look at our outcome analysis now. Okay, so in the outcome analysis, we get our key. It shows us every single general learning outcome and specific learning outcome that we have. And in this case, I mean, Alberta got them arranged as cusps, but they are labeled here. So you've got that right there. And then the LaTeX is not going to show up correctly in Microsoft Excel. Excel does not play nice with LaTeX. So we're going to have to put up with that because there's just no way to fix it. We've tried, believe me. But what I can see here are the questions, the question type, the learning outcomes they fit, and the depth of knowledge level for each one. So in one page, the student, the parent, the teacher, you can see exactly where is this child operating at, right? What depth of knowledge are they really understanding and really getting, and what kinds of questions are they falling down with? This is so much better than going through page by page, right, to give them feedback. And so use this to the best of your ability for communication for the student. And okay, now we have our blueprint. Let's take a look. And there's our blueprint, really nicely lays out exactly what your balance of questions is, what the question types are, and so on. So there we have it. And if you want to see it bigger, there you have it. You can go there. Okay, now let's take a look at our rubrics. There's your rubric. This is a 1-point rubric, so really strengths and then areas for growth. There's your I can statement in the middle, and you've got the SLOs that it is going to. Okay, once again, you've got your learning outcomes, your objectives right there. And then here's an example of a 4-point rubric that is looking at 2 categories of the curriculum. So you've got there, and again, this is going to be fully editable, right? It's a Microsoft Excel, or you can download it, add it into your Google Drive and open it up in Sheets. And then you have full editing capabilities over this. So you want to change these descriptors, you go ahead. That is that for their test, but wait a minute. What if you wanted to adapt that test for some of your students? Well, that's easily done now too. So let's go back in, and we're gonna use this little view content to actually go right back into the test and continue working with it. Okay, so I'm gonna come back in, and the first thing, there it is. Okay, now I can make another version of this test by saying, okay, I actually need to translate this test, okay? I need to change either the target reading level, which you can easily do. Just choose another reading level, and that's going to just change the language of the test. It's not going to change the question. It's going to change just the complexity of the language in the test question itself. Okay, so that's one thing, but I can also change it to, let's say I wanted to make this a French version for my French students. Okay, now I can translate. So it's still going to give me, there's the reading level. It's telling you everything, right? It's giving you all the information. But I need to choose, it was grade 6, so I'm going to choose grade 6 again. Let's say I just wanted to keep the same reading level, but I want just to change it to French. So I have to make sure I have chosen both of these, and then I'm going to translate. Let's see what happens. Okay, there you see, side by side, question 1, question 1. Okay, same question, but there's the translation. I absolutely love this feature, and I've had so many teachers say, wow, the side by side is wonderful because you can compare, right? You've now got two versions. Now when you approve, it's going to approve both of these, so I can say yes, I like that. If you want to, if you're not quite happy with the translation and you want to edit it, now just keep in mind, if there's latex in here, math latex, you're going to break it if you mess with the latex part. Okay, so maybe don't do that. But if you just have a spelling error or something that's in there, or you want to change a word, go ahead and do that. That's perfectly fine. And then save it. And then you notice that when you come back to saving it, it gets rid of the latex issues. It's totally perfect again. It's only when you're in that edit mode that you're going to see it look a little bit wonky there. Okay. Now, again, save these French versions of your questions if you want to. Like, you can save that, right? I can put that into my test bank, test question bank. That's really what you're building. So I'm going to approve these. Okay. And again, you can see side by side. Let's approve those. Let's do a 1 point rubric here. I'm just going to do one. And I think it was 2 categories, and this was 2 categories as well. I don't really remember, but I'm going to just do that, double spaced and no lines. Okay. And we're going to generate. Okay, let's go see. Okay, now we're coming back in, and now you have, look here, you got the test again, the outcome analysis, the blueprint, the rubrics, but you've also got the translated version of this test. Let's go take a boo at that. There it is. Okay. Now, we realize that our headers are not yet translated into French, so you may have to do a little bit there, but that is, it's in the works. We're working on it, so that will be coming in a future update very soon. But here you've got your translated version, just like that. All these great questions ready at your fingertips. You can save them, you can mix and match and bring them back in, and so on. All right, so now again, I want to show you something else that's really kind of powerful. So let's say that I wanted to come back into this test again, and this time I actually want to build a different test, but I want to use the same outcomes and the same same sources and all of that. In that case, I'm going to come back in, and I've got those test questions, but I'm actually going to view this template, and I'm going to use this template. Watch this. Okay, now the template is saying, oh, here's what you chose, right? I have this template. All the choices are already made that are the same. If I had added a source here, that would be the same. All of those things are going to remain the same, and the blueprinting is already done. I'm just going to update. Okay, and then I'm going to go on from there, and I can generate a new set of questions, but based on that template. So it's not giving me the exact same test. It's now creating a brand new test, but based on the same template that I did before, which is, you know, I'm doing a retest, or my kids really they fell down on this, so I want to generate the new test, but I want to generate them on the same outcomes, right? So I can now have that full capability too. And again, don't forget to attach a reference file if you want. Play with these things and see what it does for you. We think that these changes are going to be really helpful to you as you're designing your test, and yeah, you're in full test practice mode right now. It's that time of year, so we hope these changes help, and yeah, we would love your feedback. Please share with us, you know, that we're on the right track, or that you love the updates, or something else that you wish we were doing, let us know. And how you can let us know is up in here. Give us feedback right there. We're always open to your suggestions because we are here to support teachers and we got you. So enjoy your day. I hope you enjoy the new features of the test designer. Bye for now.